Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. Big Dog Country Radio. And Bob, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
They
Overtime
did it again.
Man, these overtime games are... I'm getting too old for these overtime. I mean, come on. Let's win the game before overtime. Once again, I'll take to the third quarter before we start. I don't know what happens in the halftime. I was joking with a friend of mine. I don't know what we do at halftime. We must throw a party or something, get them fired up. I don't know. I mean, because we play.
Coaches are bad throwing things around.
We don't do anything in the first half.
Yeah.
We go a halftime longer, come out with a whole different, just a whole different team. So.
Then we got Gunner coming in. He did good in
Gunner
that pressure situation.
Yeah, Gunner did great. Like I said, Kirby said the team just kind of got inspired, and it looks like they all were fired up. They like Gunner, so I said the question is what's wrong with Carson Beck? They haven't released it. They did the MRI yesterday. They're holding that report, so I'm not sure he's going to be able to play or not. So that's the big question mark: is Carson Beck going to be able to play in the playoff game?
But as you mentioned a little while ago when we were talking off air, that it's all the way to New Year's Day, so we have a little while there for perhaps maybe him to heal up.
Didn't look good.
But it didn't look good. His arm was just hanging there. That's pretty bad when your arm's just hanging there.
They said he couldn't squeeze a ball. I mean, that's why he couldn't have played the second half. They said that, Kirby got word from the doctors that he couldn't, he just couldn't squeeze the ball at all. So he couldn't play. So, but it's nice to win an SEC championship game. Kirby seemed excited. Like I said,
it's SEC. You win the championship. Got the big trophy. Yeah, that's great. So, and now we get a bye all the way to New Year's Day, and more than likely be playing Notre Dame.
Could see Texas for a third time.
We could.
That's going to be crazy. We have to play them a third time.
That would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. But we do have a guest in here this morning. Bob, who do we have?
We have the Mayor of Scriven. They've got the big Christmas parade this coming Saturday, so had him come in to give us the details and how it's going to go, where the lineup is, where people need to park, and all that good stuff. So, Mayor, always good to see you. Appreciate you coming in.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, great to be here. Yes, we have our Christmas parade and our annual Christmas in the Park event this Saturday. Our parade will start at 4. Lineup will be over on Bill Royal, which is the ball field road where we actually hold Christmas in the Park. And it'll come through town, through Church Street by First Baptist and kind of behind the bank and behind City Hall, like our normal route. And then it'll end back at Bill Royal with Santa Claus getting off of his float and going to the Christmas house for Christmas in the Park, and the event that we have all that real snow and all those vendors and bounce houses and horse and buggy ride, and I mean just G. McLean brings his horse and buggy, and it's just a good night, a fun, free family fellowship night.
So Christmas in the Park's going to take place after the parade?
Yes, right after the parade.
So the same day.
Same day, yep. We're going to get it all done in one lick, and
what time do you say they parade?
The parade starts at 4, lineups at 3. There's no entry fee. We ask you bring an unopened toy because we donate it to the Toys for Tot, the Christmas toy thing that they run around the community, and that's the only thing we ask for an entry. But we want to get as many people as we can in the parade and have a good time over in Scriven this Saturday afternoon and into the evening.
Tell us what happens at the Christmas in the Park after the parade.
Santa's there with his elves at the Christmas house, and we'll have a photographer there this year that'll take your picture of you and Santa, and you'll be able to have that picture right then digitally to your phone. And there's vendors there. All of our local churches get involved, and they give away hot chocolate, popcorn. They'll be showing a Christmas movie this year. The Methodist Church in Scriven actually going to have a Christmas movie on, so the kids can sit on the stage and watch a movie. There'll be 7 or 8 bounce houses out on the ball field. There'll be 80,000 pounds of real snow out on the ground.
Soon the real snow again.
Real snow again. All right. Just be careful. I mean, it will be thrown, I'm sure. Always is. And but we'll have it away from the people as much as we can. And so, it's just going to be a good time. A good time in Scriven. Come out and fellowship. It's one of our best nights. Everybody just stands around in the Christmas spirit and talks and has a good time. And there's so many different photo ops set up throughout the park. They started last week, and we hit it pretty hard yesterday decorating, and we'll finish it up this week and have all the lights turned on and everything ready for our Saturday event.
How many entries you have in the parade right now?
I'm not sure right off because I actually was out of pocket for about a week after Thanksgiving. I took a little a sabbatical. Time to contemplate. I read the definition of that, and that's what I called it. Not a sabbatical.
You
a time
thinking.
To contemplate.
All right.
And me and my wife got away for.
And of course, if it's like most parades around here, most of the entries will come in this week.
They'll come in this week, and at a parade Saturday, there'll be probably 5 or 10 that pull up Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just how it is, and you know, the kids be excited. Bring candy. I mean, we're gonna let our streets aren't that busy as like main streets and all. So if you throw candy, that's what those kids come for. I've seen so many kids Friday night with their bags, and you know, and you just go to the parade to throw candy. I mean,
those kids got a lot of candy Friday
night.
I said, hats off again to the city.
That's right.
Jesup, great Christmas parade. It was a packed house again.
It was a nice parade.
It was a chilly night, but they had a lot of entries and
they kept it moving.
Well. Yeah.
I mean, we were number 11, number 35, and then our officers and fire trucks were somewhere mixed in as well. And as me riding number 11, I mean, it wasn't long. I was done, and I was able to park, and you know, my wife was able to get out and walk up and watch the parade. And they kept it moving because it was cool.
Yeah, nice parade. So you have yours this Saturday. So
Saturday.
Santa will definitely be there, right? So
Santa will be there. He's
good.
coming. Yes, sir. Big fat fella with some white hair.
So 4 o'clock, the parade begins in Scriven this Saturday, and then Christmas in the Park right after that.
Yep.
And that'll be there at the which park is it again?
Grace Community Park.
Grace
the
Community
ball field.
Park. The ball field.
Yeah. Easier for us to say the ball field, and everybody knows where it's at.
Sounds good.
Yep. Come on over, have a good time, hang out with us. They'll have some fires going. If it's chilly, some of those churches, they'll have fires. They'll have a s'more station where they're making s'mores and fire pits going and some live animals. And, I mean, it'll be just a good time.
And once again, the snowblower throwing out snow
That's
that you can get in, play in, and throw, and everything else.
Yep. We'll put the snow on the ground. They'll show up. Usually they show up around 4:30-ish. So they'll probably be putting the snow on the ground while we're doing the parade. Right. And when we come back, it'll be ready.
Kids love the snow.
They love it, man. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Hey, not only do the kids. I mean, what made it all worthwhile a couple of years ago, we had a 80-something-year-old lady that her whole life she just wanted to make a snow angel. I mean, she lived, you know, you don't get that opportunity in Scriven very often. But so our officer walked her out there on the snow bars with nobody. It made everybody stop and let her around, let her lay down and make a snow angel. So she was able to, you know, it was just a great little moment.
Cool.
Yeah. Make sure you keep up with your children. That's the main thing. We have to. Sometimes we have some lost children, that comes kind of a little stressing. But just keep up.
That's what's so good about.
Yeah.
That's what's so good about having it over the ball field park area is the fact that it's not right next to the main highway. It's way over there, and it's easier to find the children, and they're not going to get in
the first year.
trouble.
We did it up there at the main park, and we never dreamed it would be as big as it was. Mm-hmm. So when it was over, we looked at each other and said, "We can't do this here anymore. 84 is too close. We got to get away from this highway because there was more people. There was just people spilling out in the 84.
Right.
Never dreamed that it would have been that
yeah.
successful. So we're proud of that, and I got 1 or 2 more in me before I'm done in Scriven, and so we're gonna try to do it right.
Okay.
At least 2 more times this year and next year.
All right. Sounds great. Mayor of Scriven, Jason Weaven here, talking about the Christmas parade this Saturday at 4 o'clock in Scriven, and then Christmas in the park with all kinds of fun activities afterwards. Going to be a great day in Scriven, again at 4.
Yep. Just call City Hall if you want to be in the parade. Call City Hall, 579-2211. Talk to Michaela, Brooke, Barbara. Any of those ladies can get you set up, and we'll get you put in the lineup and see you Saturday, and come spend even if you ain't the parade, come to the parade, and then come over and spend Christmas in the park and get your photos and have a good time, and just say hello, and we welcome you over to the #1 small town, USA.
Okay. What else?
What else? Man,
what else?
I don't know. You tell me.
You tell me. I don't know.
Bob was talking about Georgia. You seen Kirby throw them darts at Greg Sankey on the stage up there. You see Greg looking at him?
Greg Sankey didn't like that.
He didn't like it. I don't care. I'd have done it too.
I thought it was pretty funny.
I did too.
Well, explain to folks what that is. A lot of people are thinking, what is he talking about?
Well, he said something about the strength of schedule that the SEC guy made Georgia go through the gauntlet, and they wanted Texas to win. I mean, it was very obvious that
Kirby, after the ball game, they had the trophy presentation, and Greg Sankey, the commissioner, was on the stage, and Kirby had the microphone first, and Laura Rutledge asked him his thoughts on the playoffs. He said his team needs a much needed rest thanks to Greg Sankey sending them on the road all season long.
Yeah.
To Alabama, to Clemson, Ole Miss, Texas. So, Greg Sankey was sitting over there like,
I read a stat.
Tell folks who Greg.
He's
Greg
the
Sankey.
SEC commissioner.
SEC commissioner.
Yeah. I read a stat last night, Butch. Listen to this. I mean, you might probably already know this, Bob, because Texas. You know how many top 25 teams Texas beat this year? Zero.
None.
Right, no.
Zero.
Right. Same with Indiana.
Indiana's
They're even lucky to be in.
How's
I'm just
in there? Like I said, they got to tweak this. They said they're probably going to expand it, but the big thing is, like I said, the main problem they've got is the seeding. They don't believe a conference championship should automatically buy because, like they said, as they say, the old Sesame Street song, one of these things is not like the other.
That's right.
The Big 12 championships are not like an SEC championship. They don't have to play the schedule SEC has to do, so it's not fair to seed them. Boise State's sitting there in a nice spot, but they didn't play the schedule that other teams play.
Well, I thought when they done this playoff,
they said they're going to do like next year. They're going to do like the basketball. Even though you win a conference championship, they're going to seed them 1 through whatever. You're not going to get an automatic bye. So.
Okay.
I thought when they did this playoff, it was to make it more fair for everybody because, I'm a Sun Belt guy, but, I mean, naturally I'm smart enough to know the Sun Belt's not as strong as the SEC. Mm-hmm. But if I'm a player in the Sun Belt, why do I go to a Sun Belt school knowing that even if I win the conference, I'm never going to have an opportunity to play for a national championship?
I'm just glad the committee did the right thing because, like I said, if they would have put Alabama in over SMU and punished SMU for playing a conference championship game, that would have just destroyed all the championship games would have been useless. No one would want to go to a championship game because you can get punished for losing a championship game. But what's funny is they said that first half when Clemson had the 21-7 lead or 24-7 lead, they thought SMU was out. And all of a sudden SMU came back, lost on a 56-yard last-second field goal. They put them back in. But so the committees, like they said, Paul Feinbaum said they're talking out of both sides of their mouth. They're not, they're not really making any sense. But Shane Beamer was funny. He was there all day Saturday in Atlanta on all the shows. He was lobbying for South Carolina because they're the hottest team right now. No one wants to play them. Like I said, they lost some tough games, lost by a couple of points in each game, and their quarterback's the guy everybody wants to see. So. Everybody's got a gripe. Like I said, they'll expand it, but I'm just glad they didn't. I thought they did the right thing by not punishing. You shouldn't be punished for playing in a conference championship game.
That's right.
No, you shouldn't.
Just like
if Georgia would have lost, they should not have been punished.
If Georgia would have lost, would they would knock them out? You just don't know. So that's why you had to win. Because
You see who walked in.
Shane Beamer said it best to his team. He said, "Look, the problem is we put in other people's hands. You got to win the games. You just." That's how important those games are. You just can't afford to lose. Just like, Alabama really doesn't have anybody to blame themselves because they laid an egg at Oklahoma. They don't lose. They don't get blown out by Oklahoma.
And Oklahoma was an unranked team.
Right. So
It's
going to be interesting. But like
yeah.
I said, it's just looking at it. If I'm Oregon, I'm like, why are we in the bracket we're in? We're the number 1 seed, and we got the tougher bracket than the lower bracket. But I'm like you. Georgia's got a nice path.
Yeah.
Notre Dame. It looks like it's going to be Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl, and then go from there. So I don't see Indiana. I just don't see Indiana. That coach can talk all he wants about how he blew out. Yeah, but he's playing teams that everybody can blow out. I mean, I don't see them compete. They played one game against Ohio State. They got embarrassed. So I don't see it. I don't see Indiana doing much in this tournament at all.
I mean,
Boise State's the one team I think is legit because of that running back.
That running back.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think he's the Heisman Trophy winner. I mean, if he doesn't get the Heisman Trophy, I'll be surprised. But Deion's out there lobbying for Travis Hunter, but I don't think Travis Hunter is as good athlete as this Gentry kid. This Gentry kid is the real deal. I mean,
you see who walked in with the team in Atlanta with Georgia, didn't you?
Boise State has one
Who's
loss.
that?
Muschamp.
Yeah, Boise State has one loss. That's to Oregon, and they had Oregon beat. I mean, they almost beat Oregon at Oregon. So, I mean, Boise State can play with anybody.
Coach Boone, Kirby called Coach Boone, said, I need help with the defense this week. Come on. And because Muschamp came in with him. You can guarantee you he was with him all week.
But it was nice to win at SEC top, but that overtime, It's just a nerve-wracking thing.
I'm telling you,
after
man.
8 overtimes.
Especially that Georgia Tech. Now,
said we
look,
just got
Georgia
through
Tech,
it.
I'm a diehard dog, but Georgia Tech deserved to win that football game.
I told people
That quarterback they got, and he's going in the portal.
Who's
What?
that?
That Haynes King. Man, he's amazing.
Yeah, you see some stuff like that and hear about some of these top athletes that you wouldn't think would leave a team
Yeah.
because they got a great record and great with entering into the portal. I guess they're
All about that money, but
it's always about the money.
It's about the money.
Always about the money. No loyalty except to the money.
yep.
But it'll be fun. Like I said, we've had only 4 teams for so long. Everybody yelled and screamed, expanded. They got it to 12. So, like I said, they'll have to tweak it. It's not a perfect system right now, but
More football to watch.
It's going to be an exciting playoff system. So
The bettors are loving it.
I like how they incorporated the bowl games, with the playoff games. So it should be fun. And I said Georgia, Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl.
That's your dream, Bino.
I mean,
You going?
I'm telling you, it's bringing back memories. I had
Watch the sugar pouring out of the sky.
I had college people in my dorm call me last night saying, "Man, let's get back. Let's go for a reunion."
You got a reunion there in New Orleans?
I said, "My parents don't live there anymore." I said,
I got nobody to bond me out.
I don't have a place. We don't have a place to stay right now. Y'all find me a place to stay. We'll get together. But yeah. It's bringing back memories because that's what it looks like. It's going to be. It looks like Notre Dame and Georgia in that Sugar Bowl. So
Yeah.
it'll be fun.
I got a buddy down there. He might hook you up. He coaches the Tulane team. He's in New Orleans.
Yeah.
But
What better place to be for New Year's?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about.
and
it.
then we talked. We brought up that Soto. I mean, Butch. You
Right,
were,
right.
tell that numbers. Tell these people that number. That's the craziest thing I ever heard in my life.
$700 and something million for $765 million that he's leaving the Yankees and going from Bronx over to Queens and playing for the Mets.
Glenn Pond must have made one more donation to that Mets program.
I'm-
Because I'm telling you, they got
How many years is that?
14.
14. Okay. So he's going to play 14 more years.
He ain't no way he's going to
That's
play
what I'm
14
saying.
more
He
years.
He'd be
But
lucky-
I tell you what he's going to
he's
do.
like if you play 4
He's
more
not going
years.
to worry about buying a Coca-Cola at a gas station or a gallon of gas.
No.
I can tell you that.
So the Yankees lost out. He's going to New York.
Yep, going across.
That's interesting.
That is amazing.
I ain't
I
never
didn't know the
seen
Mets
such.
had that kind of money. I knew the Yankees did, but I sure didn't know the
They
Mets.
must be going to have the Little League team as the rest of the 8 players because they ain't going to be able to afford nobody else.
And that's one thing about baseball, that they don't have a cap
That's
like
right.
football. Football, everybody got a cap of how much you can spend on payroll.
That guy-
from player, but in baseball, you can spend as much as you want.
That Braves guy, Anthropoulos or whatever his name is, he's talking about trading Ozzy now. Now's the time if he's going to trade Ozzy. And there's some phenom he's wanting to trade him for a pitcher.
It says here that Mets owner Steve Cohen extended an eye-popping 15-year, $765 million contract. Man, I mean, how old is this guy? 15 years. I mean, that's about a whole career
Well,
right there.
we probably really don't know how old he is because he probably ain't got a real birth certificate. I mean,
And still, I mean, 15 years would be like a career for most players, and he's been playing for a while.
what about you? Take it? You take that deal?
Sign me up.
Sign me up, coach.
I just don't. Like I said, I don't think he'll play. I think he'll be looking to play 5 more.
They're just
years.
going to pay him for 15
Yeah.
years. You're not going to play that long.
I wonder what his
They're just
guarantee
spreading
is.
it out.
Does it say what his
the question
guarantee
there.
is?
What's the
Butch?
guarantee?
Let me see if
money?
there's a guarantee
Yeah,
there.
What's the signing bonus? I like these signing bonuses.
Sign and then say I'm done.
You can live on the signing bonuses just alone. It's like those college buyouts. I saw where Oklahoma State's trying to lower Mike Gundy's buyout clause. They're going to give him another extension for another year, but they wanted to lower that.
Yeah.
Because these college presidents are realizing these buyouts are just
Yep.
You just
That Jimbo
can't-
Fisher
I don't
broke
see
him on that.
can't afford
Yeah.
them. It's crazy.
It's just, did you see them hollering? I was reading during the Georgia game. They were all the Georgia pages were posting about how they sure needed Stetson Bennett in the ball game. And then when Gunner come in, they said this looks like Stetson Bennett in play.
Well, what he provides is that dual threat, and I said he could run. So now that run,
And he ain't
I
scared.
still don't understand how they didn't call that target.
Oh, my God, his whole head come off.
That's not. I mean, that's the definition of target. I mean, the guy runs, the guy comes up, they hit helmet goes flying off. He's got to leave the game. I mean, that's not.
My son-in-law, he was so
think-
upset
I
because he
don't
wanted
know.
that targeting call. I had to convince. I mean, I couldn't even agree with him because he was so upset. I had to be on the other side. I told him, I said, look, if they would have called it targeting, if the ball would only moved about 2 more
Well, that's
yards,
true.
no big
Right.
deal.
They'll have to, but I'm just saying that to me, that's the pure definition of target. I mean, when
Every
I was
inch
surprised. I was
counts.
surprised that if the game continued. My question was Gunner going to be able to come back? Because I mean, the way he got hit, I mean,
like I told
he
you.
definitely had to go over to see the doctors. I mean, they had to take him.
They
I
said
mean,
Kirby said afterwards that they checked him for concussion. He said, "Thank God we won it on the next play," but he didn't have the signs of it.
Oh,
But I ain't no
so-
way. I mean, just thinking
Mm-hmm.
and watching how these people get. There ain't no way he didn't have signs of it because I
that's what I'm
guarantee he
saying.
walked the sideline because J-Bo coached him in high school. He probably said, "Coach Shaw, what you want me to do now?" He ain't had a clue where he was at. He got hit so hard,
And that was just a vicious hit. So I'm glad he's okay. But
and we lost the probably the kid that's going to win the Ray Guy Award and may still win it with a.
yeah, that's true too.
The punter trying to make another tackle.
Yeah, make a tackle. He got it.
Stay out of the way. All these kickers need to do is just push your hands. If you can't get them down with your hands,
Well,
don't
he
try to
saved
tackle
us
'em.
this year on that one tackle he made, and Kirby brought him into the locker room or into the team meeting to teach the team how to tackle because they were missing so many tackles.
I think the key was Uga was there and Bevo wasn't. That's-
Yeah, Bevo.
They showed that replay that happened back in the Sugar Bowl years ago.
Yeah.
Uga almost got.
Yeah, he almost.
Uga was almost gone. He came within an inch.
there's the yellow jacket saying them dogs is hell, and Bevo says, "I know." But I'm glad they won that thing. I mean, the best thing to me was ETN's interview immediately after.
Right.
If he didn't throw a dart, there ain't a dart ever been thrown because he said, "This is why I came to Georgia to play for an SEC championship. I've never got to do this before." And coming from Florida.
Well, that's what Kirby said. Kirby said he knew the kid was ready because he spoke before the ball game and said, "Look, the reason I came here is because I want to win a championship. I want to play in a game like this, so I'm playing." So Kirby said he knew he was ready to go. But I said it was just fun to listen to the team after the ball game talking about how they rallied around Gunner.
Yep.
Because everybody was, everybody just stepped up their game. And like I said, they came out, took that opening drive right down the field and scored and took the lead. And it was.
I think we need to
But
work.
we got, like I said, they missed 2 field goals. They didn't play well.
That's
I
right.
mean, Sarkeesian's just kicking himself. I mean, they should have won that ball game.
We got to work on for 3 weeks. We got to work on catching the
But
football. Though.
Sarkeesian
I don't
said-
understand. Arian Smith's got more talent than anybody in the world, and got bricks for
You know,
hands.
Sarkeesian said it best. Look, at halftime, we had 289 yards to Georgia's 85 yards, and we're only up by 6-3. We knew we were in trouble. He said, you got to take advantage. You just can't let opportunities like that slip. But like I said, they missed 2 field goals. The quarterback didn't. Yeah. Well, the funniest, the strangest thing that I thought, all during the pregame, also all the pregame show, they had like 3-4 hours of pregame show, and they talked the whole time about how Texas was going to use Arch Manning.
Yeah.
And have him out there running, because Georgia had so much trouble with Haynes King, Georgia Tech quarterback. And Arch Manning was nowhere to be found. I think
3 plays, I think.
Yeah. That's what they were asking Sarkeesian after the ball game. He said on the selection show that yesterday they interviewed all the coaches. He said that's where they made a mistake. They should have used him more. They just didn't use him. So I'm sure if we see him for a third time, we'll see Arch
We'll
Manning.
see him.
Yeah.
Well, I guarantee you.
If we get
That's going to be wild if Georgia plays Texas for a third time in one season. That'll be wild.
I told it's hard to beat a good team twice.
Right,
I
it's
mean,
hard to-
you
can
probably
imagine-
won't beat them
trying to-
3
yeah,
times.
can
I
you
mean,
that'd be tough to beat them 3 times.
you beat them twice, you can beat them again.
you can, but you got to be lucky.
That'd be a heck of a story. Texas loses 3 games all year, and they lost all 3 to Georgia.
That would be.
Well, I think they've given up 28 sacks all year long, and 13 of them have been to Georgia.
Right.
Good news,
I mean-
they got to come to Athens next year too. So and we went to Texas this year, so a lot of fans went out there, enjoyed that trip, and won that ball game. So Texas is coming to Athens.
They just look. Georgia to me just looks like.
I wonder if Athens will let Bevo come. You think Athens? They let the Buffalo come when we played Colorado.
We can let them stay in the Coliseum. We have.
That's still one of the wildest things I saw. In
I
Athens
don't
was
know that when Bevo's after the dog, so they might not allow Bevo. to
Yeah,
come.
yeah.
I mean, those guys running that Colorado Buffalo, that Colorado Buffalo's running them.
They're holding on for dear life.
They are holding on for dear life. They're just hoping he goes back in the cage. I was like, those guys aren't controlling that buffalo. Those buffaloes
I don't
controlling
care
it.
how many people you got there. That buffalo's going where he wants
That
to.
thing was wild. Yeah, that was one of the wildest things. But
It just, to me, Georgia looks like on defense that at any play, any time, if Schumann calls it and they dial it up, that they can get the quarterback. Any play. I mean, I don't understand why we don't just do it all the time then.
Hey, you got to mix it up. Keep them guessing.
It's hard to guess when you're laying on your rear end.
That's true.
just nice to win.
Yeah, it feels
SEC
good.
champs.
SEC
SEC champs.
We
That
didn't
goes
win-
in the trophy
we
case.
Didn't win Texas. We didn't, nobody wanted Texas to win the SEC until the first year.
No. It's just
That
like
was funny.
no one wanted SMU to win and Clemson wins, but Oregon goes into the Big Ten. First year wins the Big Ten over Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, all those guys.
Yep.
They're fast. You watch Oregon. They got the fastest team. In the
They got
country.
some speed, huh?
They got some speed. They're fun to watch.
Oh, they're fast. That receiver, number 15, Tez Johnson, you know where he come from, don't you?
Where's that?
Troy.
Troy.
Yeah. What happened was, if you remember, Bo Nix transferred, when Dan Lanning got hired, Bo Nix left Auburn and went to Oregon for his senior year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when Tez was 15 years old, Bo Nix's parents adopted him in Alabama. And them two in the yard, quarterback receiver, the whole life, throwing each other. So when Bo got up there to Oregon, his family talked to Dan and said, we got to get Tez up here. So Tez left Troy and went to Oregon. And now, look, I mean,
Yep.
Tez was doing that at Troy. He just wasn't on the national stage like you said. I mean, he's one of the fastest kids I ever seen.
All right, Mayor. Let's highlight what's going on in Scriven this Saturday as we wrap up the Butch and
4
Bob show.
o'clock, Christmas parade starts. If you want to be in the parade, or give us a call at 912-579-2211. And the parade starts at 4. It'll usually last about 45 minutes to an hour, and then maybe a little bit longer. And then we got a Christmas in the Park right after. We plan to kick it off around 6, but if the parade ends a little early, it'll get started a little early. We're going to end at about 8:30, and we'll have all the real snow, all the vendors, all the Christmas photo ops. You see Santa Claus. The kids will get to see Santa. They leave their letters for Santa in the mailbox, and just a good, fun, free night of fellowship.
All right,
Scriven.
sounds good. Appreciate you coming in, Mayor.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Mayor Jason Weaver of Scriven here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. Brought to you by the Service Department at GNS Auto Sales. Also brought to you by First Southern Bank, Murphy Builder Supply, and O.C. Welch Ford in Hardyville.